Storehouse ministry began here at Crinken Church in a garage behind me about 5-6 years ago as a result of seeing an article in a newspaper that so many children were going to bed hungry every night. As a church we felt we had to do something about it. During the period of COVID-19 we were able to build a new structure because the old garage was damp and cold. It wasn't great for our volunteers, but it wasn't very inviting for the clients who came to receive the food. And so we built this new premises here, and you can see the food stacked on the shelves. It's a nice place to work. And then each week we hand out bags of food to the clients. You can see some of the bags that are here. And we feed about 100 people a week in our local community. We work with agencies such as Purple House, St Vincent de Paul, Bernardo's, Springboard, Shankill Old Folks Association and others. And so we do this because Jesus said, as much as you did it unto the least of these my children, you did it unto me. And Jesus also said, love one another as I have loved you. And that's why we do this. And we're very thankful for the support we have from local churches in the area, far and near, and other community groups who help us to provide food on the shelves.
We get our food really from three sources. The main source is an EU program called SMD, which is Support for the Most Deprived, which is not the nicest name in the world, but it's a fantastic program. And what happens with SMD is at the beginning of the year they allocate us a number of credits, and with those credits then we can order the basic products that we need. So things like Weetabix and porridge and beans, for example. And at the beginning of the year I place our order. We're allowed to tweak that every 3 months, and that we then get a monthly delivery from SMD, which we've just put away this morning. That's why I'm here. And that gives us all of our basic requirements and probably provides well over half of what we need. The second one then is we get donations from a lot of the local parishes. So as you'll see here, our normal delivery from SMD gives us Heinz beans, but then we get a whole array of different canned products here from various different parishes, which is really well appreciated and is a fantastic top up because SMD will not give us sufficient food to serve our local area here, and that's a really great help. And it just brings variety for the families, so they get different products in different weeks, and they can get things like Heinz hoops, for example, that wouldn't normally come. And then the third area we get, again, which is with great help from our local parishes and some other local organisations, and indeed the local council, is we get some vouchers or cash, and with that then we'll top up whatever food shortages we have, and we'll buy things like biscuits, for example. So the biscuits, for example, do not come from SMD, but we will go and we'll buy biscuits, which is a nice treat for the families to get, which they wouldn't normally get through the SMD program, as I say. So
the contents of the bag make a difference. We give enough breakfast cereals for a couple of days, with pasta, ragu sauce, tomato cans. So this can put a food together for children or families that at the moment might be struggling. We have examples of families that have come to us and said going back to school is such an expensive time. The few weeks that they come on board with their agencies, which they try to limit to 3 months only so they don't become over-dependent for families, make a huge difference. It's 3 months of them knowing, well, we're going to get a bag weekly, and that money we can then save to go towards paying back any debt that we might have incurred. And that is where the difference has been made for us all.
I'm Sarah, I'm from a family support project in the area. Without Crinken, we would be absolutely lost for our families. For some who've just really struggled financially just to put food on the table for their children or to provide a meal, it's just been wonderful. I suppose especially during COVID, it's been a great link, especially for isolation, to be able to pick up a food hamper and drop it off to the families and just have that connection and just checking in, how are they, how are things. So it's just a wonderful service. We use it most weeks for kind of a number of families, and the staff and everyone are just amazing here. So yeah, without Crinken we'd be lost.
We've been in an incredibly lucky position, being under the wing and umbrella of Crinken. So I'm looking at the little shed that we used to work out of, and it was great. It served its purpose, but we were getting bigger, and with donations from parishes. We were just finding it was just too small, and with the support of Feed and now SMD, Support to the Most Deprived, we had to move to a bigger premises. Luckily, this is where we are now. A lovely premises, it's spacious, we've got space to see what we have, that when we get excess produce in, which is really gratefully received from parishes, these are the treat items. These are the things that the family will go, oh, it's not strawberry jam this week, it's honey, or it's Nutella, or it's something that you can put a little extra smile on their face. It's a container of coffee. These are the things. So evolving all the time. We're trying to each week evolve more. That we noticed there was a hygiene poverty going on. Our agencies identified this to us. So now each week we hand out a hygiene product. We go from loo rolls to sanitary products to Domestos to loo cleaner, toothpaste. So every week the family will also get a hygiene product. So that's helping out with the hygiene poverty. Now we're trying to evolve one step further, and this week actually we trialled fresh produce. Now we're very limited as we don't have cold storage, so our fresh produce this week to trial was potatoes, carrots and eggs. Again, you can make a meal out of this. And then the last thing I have to mention is a great parish that have supported us, Monkstown, if I'm allowed names. They supply a chocolate treat once a month, and it's wonderful.
We come here and collect the groceries, and then we deliver them to people who are recovering from cancer treatment or a bereavement in the family, and we supply them as best we can. And especially if there's young children in the family, it's a bit hard to cope, I suppose, really. And it's just a little bit of help with them, and then they come to the centre for counselling and treat aromatherapy and relaxation and counselling. So yeah, it's a great help.
We became very, very conscious, especially during COVID, that really we couldn't step back. This was a service that, especially at COVID or Christmas or any holiday period, is so valuable to the families that receive it and our agencies. We literally only close for 2 weeks over Christmas. We will actually serve up until, I think our last day will be the 23rd, which is a Thursday. We're only open on a Thursday, so we are limited on that respect. Our last serving day will be Thursday the 23rd, literally just before Christmas, and we will open more than likely the first week back into January. And another aspect that we do in the storehouse, obviously our bags are now collected by the agencies, where previously it would have been the clients. So to let them know that this is coming from a church background under the umbrella of Crinken Church, we put a card in with every bag, and it basically has the storehouse written on the front of it, and on the back of it there's a line from the Bible and it says, Jesus says, love one another as I have loved you. So these cards go in so the families are aware that it's from a church that cares within their community.